Saturday, June 11th, maybe 12th. Saturday, June 12th, 2021. And we're here with live sewing chat tonight. I'm in about a minute early so I can let people get their notifications. And I also want to bring you all up on my cell. So we'll wait just 1 minute. Okay, let me close everything that's here. I did reboot. I think I did reboot, hopefully. Let's make sure. Let's see. Hopefully my mic is working. I think I may have some issues with my mic. So, you know, I kind of twist my cord up to pull it up around through my shirt. So I may have to order a new mic. Turn off notifications as well. So we're just waiting for people to come into the room. And we've got 27 people in. It's exactly 9 o'clock p.m. now. So we're just going to go ahead and start by reading some of the chat comments. We've got Chaplain Camps says, laughing out loud. Hi, T. Last week I popped in as you were done. Laughing out loud. Today she's here early. She was commenting 20 minutes early. Cool Gal says, hi, T and everyone from Maryland. Robin Boyd says, hello, T and everyone. The Molly J says, hi, Miss T and T Quilters. I hope everyone is doing well. I cleared my sewing corner today, ready to get sewing again. Yes. Robin says, I finally have started to chain piece tees kit. Yes. And I'm just working on it as a chain on and off piece as I've been working on the t-shirt quilt. So I haven't gotten a whole lot done with that, but it is on my board. It's on my design wall. Deborah Sims Brown says, hello, T and everyone from Maryland. Robin Boyd says, good evening, Kathleen. Bonita Nance is here. She says, hello, Miss T and everyone. I'll be listening while laying down flooring on back porch. Yes, have fun, girl. It's going to look nice, I'm sure. Vivian Cavy's here saying hi, T and everyone. Mario D says, hello, everyone from Montreal with love. Happy to be here. And also, Bonita says, thumbs up while we wait. Thank you, Bonita. Connie says, hello, I feel like I'm at the drive-in waiting for the movie to start. That's too funny. Need one of those retro countdowns on the screen. Yes. Susan T says, hi, T, and all the T Quilters had a wonderful day today with some friends. That's awesome. Tiffany's Quilting Life is here. Hi, Tiffany. Hope you're feeling better. Hi, Scott, as well. Tiffany says, hello, T and friends. Katrina's here saying, hello, Miss T and Quilting Friends. Hi, Katrina and Shari. Sean Hickman says, hello, T and friends from Tyler, Texas. Judy Smith says, hi, T and all. C-Rack says, hello, Miss T and Quilting Friends. Janet Macro says, hello, T and T Quilters. Hot and humid in Oklahoma. Tiffany is also giving you the link for the Facebook group. I'll go ahead and pin it. Whoever puts it up there first, I just make it a pinned message. Well, I normally do that, but I didn't press it hard enough, I guess. Oh, it's up there now. It's just delayed. We're going to be in trouble if it took that long to get that to pop up. Thanks, C-Rex says, sound is great. Beverly Aiken says, hello, T and T Quilters. Stephanie says, hey, T and everyone. Hi, Stephanie. Jackie K is here saying, hello, everyone from Canada. Spent all day gardening, exhausted and ready for tea and friends. Yes. Judy says, hello, T and Quilters. Darcy Savali's here saying, hi, T and all quilters. I was excited to get my Jelly Roll Jam quilt done, but all of a sudden my back goes out and I can't walk. It sucks. Oh my gosh. I've never had like what I consider to be, I guess, major back issues because I've never had to take medication or see a physician for it. But the minor back pain that I've had has been awful. So sorry you're going through that. Claudette Bettis is here. Hi, Claudette. She says, hello, T and everyone, checking in from Anaheim, California. Darcy is also reminding people to give T a thumbs up. Thank you. Vicki Lemire is here saying hello. Betsy says, hello, Miss T and Quilters. Hi, Betsy. So Love says, you're back from retreat. Hello, all. Hope you had a great time. Yeah, I was back last week. And I'm going to have to eventually open up these tissues that I've been trying not to open. For some reason, I've got, well, I guess I'm, just being outside. All the trees are my allergies. And all of a sudden now I've got the sniffles. So I guess I will be opening this packet. But I've been back. I think I was back home last Saturday. So it's been a couple weeks since I've been at retreat. So you all have to excuse me while I take care of my problem. And hopefully this will work. Lizette Zayas is here saying hello, T and friends. Hi, Lizette. Kevin the Quilter is here, says, long live our queen of scraps, Miss T. Evening, all T Quilters. Hello to you, Kevin. Tom Eckery is here, says, hey, T and T Quilters, show T some love and hit that thumbs up. Thank you so much, Tom. Diana Barker says hello from Ohio. Hello, Diana. Welcome to the channel. Appreciate you coming in. Ella Odom says, good evening, Miss T and Quilters. Cynthia Shades also here, says, good evening to all from Chicago. Hope all is doing well and staying safe. Deborah Quilts is here saying hello, T and all T Quilters. Hi, Deborah. Scott said hi. He is watching a movie. Dolores Phelps says hello, T and T Quilters. Maria Mayer says hi, T and everyone. Janice Miller says hello to T and T Quilters. Good to be here. Francis Jackson also says hello, T and T Quilters. Connie says, I got my kit tee. I ordered fabric for the borders. We'll have it soon is what I'm thinking she's saying. Yeah, I'm trying to still figure out what borders I'm going to actually, or what fabrics I'm going to use in the border of my quilt as well. So I was just looking on websites trying to figure out what I was going to get. So we'll see. So they'll all have their own little different personalities by the different border fabrics. We only read English in the chat, so I'm sorry. You'll have to convert your message before posting, or someone else can convert it. But sorry about that. Leetta Bryant here says, hi, T and T Quilters. Trying to skip where people were saying hello to each other. We've got Jackie Holman says, hello, T and Quilters from Texas. Hi, Jackie. Welcome to the chat as well. And Sheila Willis says, good evening, all. Hi, Sheila. Seabreak says, I received my prizes from you, Miss T, and it makes 6 10-inch blocks. Okay. I don't know exactly what prize, which one you actually won right now, because, I sent out like 10 prizes and stuff. And then I also had been I had gotten rid of a lot of excess fabrics that I had been putting them into people's packaging. So I'm not exactly sure which one. But I'm glad that you were able to use whatever it is that I sent. So awesome. Rhonda Barlow's here saying hi, T and everyone. Darlene Crosby says hello, T and everyone. Tiffany is welcoming everybody that's joining and reminding you all to subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. Also, make sure you hit that notification bell so you'll be reminded whenever I upload a video and or when I go live. So let's see. Still trying to get through the comments. Kathleen saying, laughing out loud, made it back in again. Hi, T and friends. June Hanson's here says, hi, T and everyone. Thank you, T, for my birthday card. and the goodies that came with it. Hugs, girl. Thank you for caring. You're welcome. Just a little something. Roberta says, hi, TNT Quilter friends. Life got in the way, but I finally sent you info. Okay. I'll check that. Erling Butler says, hi, T and all T Quilters. I hope all is enjoying the weather and doing well. T, I received my kit today. Very nice. Thanks for the pin and square fabrics. Yeah. Yeah. So you're welcome. I don't have any more kits. Just so you all don't ask about what kits. Teresa McCormick says, good evening, T, and all UT quilters. By the way, T, I got my spring kit package. Thank you so much. Oh, you're welcome, Tiffany. Mario says, translations, good night. Thanks for sharing your projects from Colombia. Blessings for every day. A favor, I would like to know if you have the Labyrinth project. Thank you. Your blessings for every day. I have the pattern for the Labyrinth quilt. Have I done it? No. Again, I'm having just sinus reactions, guys. The sniffles and my eyes are watery. So, but I don't have the Labyrinth. I have not done the Labyrinth pattern, so I wouldn't be any assistance at this time. So sorry about that. Let's see if we can get a few more of these comments read. Oh, we're almost at the bottom. June says, yes, I am. Thanks for caring. She's talking to Mario. He asked June, are you feeling better? So that's great that she's home. So on the agenda today, I got the Wednesday, I worked on the blues hockey quilt. And so I got that part completed. And now I am actually putting the borders on. I had sewed up to where I needed to press. And so I've got borders for the blues quilt and the hockey quilt that I need to put on. So that's where we're going to start today. And I'm hoping that I got the borders in the right order that I got. Well, trying to see which ones that need the longest ones for the sides. So we'll put this over here. And I'm already in my pajamas, so I just threw a Teaquilt shirt on top. So that's where we are today. And this is the short border, so that's not right. And I only got, I guess the other short border must have fallen back behind there, I guess, because it sure isn't here. So we'll do that. I think we got enough water in here. And already I got to go dumpster diving, trying to find my piece, but I don't know. I don't feel it because I got a window ledge right here. So, I don't know. We've already lost the border. We're doing great. Trying to make sure it's not over there by any chance. All right, we'll start with what we can do, right? Maybe it's on the chair. It is on the chair. I think I must have showed it to you all on Wednesday. And I have not been back in this room since Wednesday. Had a doctor's appointments and what else? Just life, shopping for food and laundry. Still doing laundry. I tend to hang up about, I'd say probably 80% or even higher of my clothes. I just hang to dry. So it take a couple of days for them to dry. And then I start washing the next part. So that's kind of what's going on with that. Both of my quilts have directional print borders, so I got to be very careful when I'm actually putting my borders on to make sure that I'm actually putting the left side border on the left side. So Maddie Barnum is here saying hello to you and everyone. Connie says, yes, thanks for the pen and fabric. So nice of you. You're welcome. And right now, I'm actually out of fabrics that, as far as that I've gone through. I haven't gone through anymore. So like a lot of packages did not get fabric in them. So it was like as I was mailing them, if I found a piece, then I put something in it. But most of the packages did not get any fabric at all in them. And most of the fabrics would have been like scraps, or the biggest piece you would have gotten would have been a fat quarter. But just got to make sure this is put on here right. And again, I know you don't have to pin everything you put on your quilt top. I have not used many pins in piecing this quilt, but when I put my borders on, I do pin because I don't want my quilt to grow. So I know that I'm controlling what's going on here. So I do a little bit of pinning. I don't like it, but I do it anyway. Hope everybody is having a great weekend as well. I have not stepped out of the house today. So I had ran around so much from Wednesday through from doing my line dance class, which Wednesday's class was a little bit better. I went from like 5 people. We had about maybe 15 people, so that was pretty cool. So it's already increasing in size, so that's cool. Even got a couple of them that are good dancers, so that makes it easy for them to learn line dancing. But they're all doing great considering everybody is a beginner line dancer, so they're doing great. This thing is gonna run me out of here with this heat. This steam press I'm using behind me. All right, so I'm gonna only do one border at a time just so we can get started here. Let me put my my plate back on. I actually cleaned the machine at the top only and did some oiling at the top. So, forgot to put the plate back on. All right, so these I'm putting on my side borders first. I'm one of those people that just like to put my side borders on first. People have their personal preference, but my rationale is I put my longest border on first because it's going to take more fabric. So when I cut my borders, I always cut to the lengthwise of fabric. So if my border is 70 inches long, then I cut a piece of fabric that's about 72 inches long. And then I start cutting my border pieces out of it. And then that way, by the time I add the top and bottom borders, if I'm making like a rectangular quilt, which I am, then I can cut all 4 of my borders out of the piece of fabric that's the shortest. And they're lengthwise, which means they don't stretch as much. And I don't have to worry about a whole lot of movement. Oh, that's the fan hitting my paper. I'm like, what is that? That's my t-shirt guide. They took a picture and emailed it to me, and I just printed it so I know which position the shirts went in. But I just like lengthwise grain borders. Anytime I have enough fabric, I cut lengthwise. Now this fabric is directional, so I couldn't do lengthwise on both sides. So I did lengthwise for my sides. And because it's directional, I had to cut across widthwise once I cut off my 2 longest borders. So a little bit different this time. But when I put this on my long arm, it'll be on there on the lengthwise. So, and I can't see my phone. I've just buried it. I'm already hot. Feel this heat on my neck. So I got 4 quilts I need to quilt, and I don't know if I'm gonna get them all done next week because you know my week is now getting filled. I got these 3 t-shirt quilts that I'm working on. I finished the musical one, so that one's ready. I also have my backing fabrics picked out for them as well. And I just got to get batting, which I'll probably use 80-20. It's probably what I'll use for these. All right, so now we're going to do 1 long border on the hockey quilt. And again, got to make sure I get the right side. Both of these quilts are pieced exactly the same. I did the music quilt. I was like, I pieced the border from scraps and stuff, and although I saved, used up scraps, it did take more time. So trying to get these done as quick as I can. Just want to get to the other end without twisting. And I don't even think I showed you the blues quilt put together. I guess I did. I continued to sew Wednesday after the live so that I could get the center pieced, because I had stopped when I had sewed all of my pieces together. But I stopped when I got the center pieced and just said I'll finish it up on Saturday. And that was the last time I was in here. Yes, my pen's coming out. We don't want that. So I pin both ends, then the sides, then the middle, and then I go back in between the middles and pin. Again, I didn't use hardly any pins when I pieced it. Part of it was the reason is because I had sashing with cornerstones. So I used that. I sewed from one spot to the next and then stopped. But on my borders, I've just seen too many quilts that are not square, so I'm real conscious about that. I've been doing that since I first started quilting, and so that's just one of those things that I have never changed, how I put my border on. So, takes time. Normally, I wouldn't be sitting here pinning. I would go do all of this on my back of my long arm. I just used the table because I can lay the entire piece out on there. But when I'm sitting here, it does take a little longer to do. But it is what it is. I'll sew this seam, and then I'll check comments. Because that's all we got to sew today is borders. So hopefully I'll get them all done doing the live, but who knows? You know, we may get to chatting. That's the first order of business, right? Is to chat. I got a lot of fabric up here. So now I'm just pinning from one end to the, sewing from one pin to the next. One more pin. And then to the corner. All right. I'm going to just put these on the floor right here next to me because I'm going to have to press this open too. But we want to get to the phone so we can do some comments. All right. Let me go back. I know you all are like way down in this comment section, and I don't even know if I'm going to even try to read them all. Okay, I remember Maddie coming in. Teresa says, I love hanging sheets outside to line dry, one of my favorite things. That's what I do with my quilts. I hang them out to dry. Connie says the sheets smell so good. Mario says, I've been shopping online all day looking for boutiques. The Canadian prices are outrageous. Found some nice ones in the U.S., but the shipping is through the roof, and many sites do not ship to Canada. Darcy Saveli says, I only have about half of what you have. Get with thumbs up. That's what she's talking about. She's saying, get with it, people. We need some thumbs up. Regina C is here, says, side is my preference. Also, hi, Regina. Welcome back. Let's see. Tiffany says, I've been quilting just a little today, trying not to overwhelm myself. I've been staying indoors because today it's 111 degrees. Oh my gosh. That's what the desert is, right? Jackie, Mario, try connecting threads. Free shipping to Canada with $85 order, but you do have to pay duty. Missouri Star only $12 shipping, no duty. That's nice to know. Regina says, hello all. I think she says, Tiff, hope that's not an indication of what Las Vegas temperatures will be. That's my heat thing going out, although I'm going to be pressing soon. So you always cut borders on the straighter grain. I thought that was in your instructions. It is in my instructions to cut on the length of grain. I always cut my borders that way. If I use whatever amount of fabric that I need. It's not that I'm buying additional fabric, because if I still need to connect a border, I will still connect those borders on the lengthwise grain. But most times I buy 3 yards of fabric if I think I'm going to use it as a backing, or not a border, not a backing. If I'm going to use it as a border, I tend to purchase 3 yards of fabric. So, if my quilt's 108 or less, then I can use that for my borders. I hardly ever make a quilt. Most of my quilts are like 100 inches at max. And the exploding heart quilt that I just made, it was 104 inches square. But most of the time I do 96 inches square. But I always just buy the whole 3 yards just in case I change my mind or the quilt grows accidentally or something. You know how we keep saying, oh, it needs this, it needs that. We start changing our mind. So, but I generally put my borders on by cutting on the length of grain. Cheryl Bean said, good evening, T and everyone. Hope everyone is having a blessed night. Welcome to the chat, Cheryl. Kelly A says, hi, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. Hello, Kelly. T, I'm out of your magical colors. They are always amazing. Well, thank you. I'm going to skip where people are talking to each other. I love the colors also. Thank you. I sent them like pictures of the fabric, and I also sent them a picture of the completed music quilt at the same time, and they wrote back and said that they liked the music quilt fabrics, but they didn't say that they liked the other fabrics. But, you know, people that don't sew, they have a hard time visioning where fabrics are going to go. And remember, they picked these colors. I didn't. So, and then a quilt's going to also look different when it's actually quilted up too. So, I know I'm like way behind in the comments, but I want to get some of this t-shirt stuff done. Otherwise, you all know what'll happen. I'll just be chatting and we won't get any sewing done. So some people like to come and see the struggle is real when we're making stuff. Even though, even while I'm sewing these and showing you all as I'm doing it, people still say I make it look so easy. So, you know, things happen sometimes. Everything doesn't go according to plan all the time. I try to prevent some of that by thinking about what I'm doing before I do it. So that's why I want to make sure these borders were on the right side, because I definitely don't want to pull out a whole border seam. So this is just one side. I got to go back and pin on the other side. Almost to the end. This quilt piece was cut 69 inches, I think. It doesn't seem like it's long until it's time to go press it. Well, sew it too. 69 inches does not seem like it's long when you're talking numbers for a quilt. So, but it's going to get longer when I put the top and bottom border on. So these are some pretty narrow quilts with long lengths because they're tall. And they are going to be, they're lap quilts. They're a little bit wider than what the recommended lap quilt is and a whole lot longer. So, but I think when you start telling people like what prices stuff will be, people will choose the lap quilt because it's the cheapest size, you know. But knowing that's not going to end up working. I kind of already know that when I'm talking to them and giving them prices, so I kind of build that in anyway, knowing it's going to be bigger than what they want. So we're just using this steam press to press these borders, just to make it quick. Right now, this particular steam press that I have, they don't have on Amazon. But I did find another one. Some people had emailed me asking me for a link because the one I had in my store was no longer being sold. It's still the same brand, so I think you'll be fine. Okay, so now we're ready to pin on the other side for the Cardinals quilt. I can read a few more comments. I just wanted to at least press one side before the noise came back. So Love says, while at retreat, you guys made a pin cushion that can hold supplies too. Is there a pattern I can buy? Thanks. You can just look up Teaquilts cube pin cushion, and it will be right there. It's right here with all the stuff in it. I'm currently using it. So it's free. Just look at the video. Kelly says, I'm in KC and we're not quite that hot, only around 90. They're talking about the weather. Kelly says at Teaquilts, you make quilting in limited space looks much easier than I know from experience. It really is. That's funny. I have been having to make do with space all my quilting life. When I started quilting, I was actually living in an apartment, and I had my sewing table that folded over, one of the old Kenmore style tables. And yeah, I had my fabrics and stuff in the storage locker that they gave us in the basement. So yeah, do what I gotta do from the start. I just love sewing indoor quilting. Darcy says, I wouldn't be able to do what T does, talking to, sewing, and keeping track of everything. She is excellent at this stuff. Yeah, Kevin, he laughs at me with this. June says, Darcy T does a great job. I'd be lost as well. Yeah, and that's where every once in a while I do have to use my seam ripper, but I try to make sure I'm paying attention. And sometimes you just got to use your seam ripper because things happen, you know. Like sewing curves, you may not have sewn, your under piece may not have been sewn correct. And sometimes you don't know that kind of stuff, even on straight stitching, until you go to press it, you know. And then you realize, oops, I missed a spot. I do have a center marked on here, so I guess I can mark the center. Because it's just in the middle of my cornerstone. Now I'm using the other pins. Like, why am I reaching all the way across my body to get a pin? I need to start using these pins I bought. I find that I do like the orange pins better. The blue pins are longer, but they're much thicker. So I do like the orange or the silk pins. So I've been finding myself using those more than the blue ones. Okay. This heat is like pouring out of this thing. Like, goodness gracious. And I can't see my phone. Oops. See if I can prop it in this box. It's gonna fall. This box got fabric pieces in it. Ugh. Mario talking about my seam ripper is a very occupied seam ripper. And I try to forget that I have one. I still haven't even replaced the seam ripper from Retreat. I'm looking at a professional. Oh, I'm a professional at seam ripping. That's Darcy. That's not fun. Let's see, who else? Oh, Earlene saying good night. Good night, Earlene. Thank you for popping in. I do know it's late for some people, especially those that go to bed early. I just happen to be a night owl, and then also trying to work with the people on the West Coast so that they can get a chance to stay up with us, because they kind of miss us on, oh, that was Tuesday night, not Wednesday, on Tuesday nights, because they're getting home or driving home from work. So just trying to work with different groups. This one goes over there. The pin I pulled out the wrong spot. Ugh. Let's see. I think that's it. I'm caught up on comments for right now. I get to sew. At least if I get these done. I don't know if you all saw Tuesday's video, but I found out that these quilts are not due until the end of July or early August is how the email was written. So I am ahead of schedule. So that feels good. The fact that I've got them almost completed. And I do have these 3 quilts. I'm going to go ahead and start quilting because I have to make labels and everything for these quilts. I have to get the information they want on the labels. They haven't given me that yet. But that doesn't mean I can't quilt them. And then I also have a quilt that I'm going to quilt first before I quilt this. I got a huge quilt. It's I haven't measured it yet, but they said it's over 100 inches both sides. So I got to measure that one so I know how I'm going to load it. And but it's for my, I tell you all, I have a quilter that's she's in her 90s. She told me her age last time I did a video. I think she's 93 or 94. And she was a master quilter. Her eyesight's a little bad, but she still knows what she wants and how she wants it. Her and her daughter she had started teaching her daughter how to make a quilt. And the daughter is ill and may not make it. And so she's trying to get this quilt that they've been working on together. She's been working with the girl, her daughter's friends in her state. They've sent it back here so that we can get it quilted. And I'm going to do all the finishing on it. I don't know if you all remember a video where I did, she wanted a quilt enlarged that had been years old. It's the same customer. So whenever she comes to me, I already know I'm going to be doing some different stuff, a whole lot of work, okay? So, but, you know, she doesn't mind paying for it. And even I try to give her a discount since she won't even take discounts. She's like, whatever your time takes, that's what you charge me. I'm going to pay for it. Don't come over here with a bill that you've marked down. I'm like, okay. So, yeah. So, I hope to, I need to get it done as soon as possible because I think she's going, I got it on Wednesday and I've just been out of the house. So I haven't had a chance to even pull it out the bag yet. But I do know what it looked like. She opened it up for me so she could tell me what her ideas were and stuff. So, but yeah. So I'm hoping I can quilt that one first next week. And it probably will, it most definitely will be the longest one it would take to quilt. On these, at first I was going to do like, I have like baseball quilting stuff, and I also have hockey quilting stuff. I even have something I can put on a music quilt. But, you know, I keep thinking about it. I'm like, they're not paying for that. So I need to give people what they pay for. So I'm just going to do some geometric designs. You know, the basic, easy, that doesn't take as long to quilt on these. Because I keep wanting to give people designs that they don't pay for, and I need to stop doing that. Because it does take my machine much longer to do a pass when I'm doing those intricate stitching designs. So I'm so nice that it's like, oh, I don't mind, and then I get to see what it looks like, and it's like, no, you need to be paid if you're going through all that trouble. If you're going to spend 8 hours of just machine time, that's not 8 hours of my time. It normally would take me 2 or 3 days to stitch some of them designs out, at least 2. So it's like, no, don't do it. Somebody else leaving. I see a sleepy emoji. Let's see who that is. Oh, we had quite a few people come in. I haven't read in a while. Hold on. Sean says, my home economics teacher is, said, as we sow, so shall we rip. Right. As we sow, so shall we rip. The Molly J says, being ahead of schedule must feel great. Yes, because I'm normally always pushing to the deadline. So when I went back and read that email, it did feel great. Let me press this seam and then I'll read some more comments. I'm just trying to catch this while it's still hot. So I can, if it wants to go off, it can while I pin the next border since I'm close. Oops. Last time. Oops. All right. Now I can read some more comments. If it go off, I'll just let it for a few minutes. Remo JS came in. Hello, Remo says, good evening, Miss T and Quilters. Amelia Rubio says, hello, Miss T. I received the fabrics and I was very excited to receive something by mail. Love the fabric. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a wonderful day and thank you for sharing your time with us. Well, you're welcome, Amelia. I appreciate you letting me know that it arrived. Remo is also reminding people to thumbs up. And Tiffany is giving out her welcome greeting. Kelly says, want to sew, but not sure I have the energy. Productive day. Errands, wedding, replaced headlight bulb in my car, dishes, 3 dogs, 3 dog walks. Wow. So yeah, you're tired. Chill. It's okay. We have days where we don't want to, even though it's our favorite thing to do, we don't want to do a thing. So you're deserving of that. And Kelly is saying, welcome at Amelia. Love exciting mail days like that. Yes. Lizette saying good night to Judy. Judy Smith is saying good night. Good night, Judy. Norma Jean Azia says, good evening, quilt friends. Hello to you. Welcome to the chat. And I think I'm caught up again for right now. So I can pin my other side border onto the hockey quilt. Be really funny if I put the cardinal border on the hockey quilt, wouldn't it? I think I'd want to cry though. It's like, get the right stuff, girl. Okay. Gotta find my middle. And it's basically where I folded it in half because I cut it folded in half. So I know exactly where the middle is. Has a little crease mark. And Norma is saying thank you to everybody that's welcoming her into the group. Very nice. Have nice quilters in here, so it's always wonderful to go into a group and to receive a welcome. You never know who's home alone, don't have any family that they can contact. And then quilting is one of those things that I can't share with anybody in my family. Nobody in my family does what I do. I got some people that have kind of tinkered with sewing. They make other types of crafts, getting into like party decor, party planning, stuff like that, but not actual sewing. My niece told me that she went and bought a Cricut to cut stuff with, and I'm like, and she's had it since January and hasn't even opened the box. And I'm like, okay, so that's weird. Like, you know, I have cutting stuff, and she went and bought it and still haven't used it. And she's always posting also on YouTube, not on YouTube, on Facebook, for shirts, for people to make basic shirts. And it's like they're just lettering. And I'm like, okay, so I guess she doesn't realize that I do shirts. I don't know. I guess I lost her. Maybe she don't want to bug me. I don't know. But I could have taught her how to do some of that stuff. I'm looking for somebody that might be interested in doing some of this type of stuff, you know? Maybe if she take the Cricut out the box, she'll have some questions and she'll come to me then. Almost getting there. Okay. I've covered everything up. Nice thing is I've sewn my longest seams because the width of these are about 54 inches or so, 55 inches. So I have sewn my longest seams. It only gets shorter from here. Goody, goody. Okay, so let me cut off the cardinal one so I can press that seam. You all haven't told me what it is that most of you all are working on. Some of you told me. Some of you said you had done a lot and you need a break. So that's good too, but let me know what you're working on. Mario says that he lost weight, so I had to sew 2 tucks at the waistband of my shorts. It's great. Who would have thunk? Yes. You know, I've been trying to watch what I'm putting in my mouth or at least know I'm putting it in when I shouldn't. So it does make a big difference if you're paying attention. Although this week was one of those stress weeks. I kind of ate a little bit more than what I should have eaten. And today I didn't eat until like 2 o'clock, my first meal, because I'm on a different schedule than everybody else. But I'm going to have a salad when I get off of here. I'll just eat a salad. Yeah, yes, this couple days, it was just stress eating. Just eating all the things that I had given up in the past month or so. I just like, I got to have this, I got to have that. And now it's like, okay, I'm over it. I'm done now. So we're back on it today. Did I eat anything bad today? Trying to think if I had anything sweet. I don't recall. Because I haven't even eaten that much today. So trying to get rid of a lot of the sweet stuff. And chips and stuff. I haven't bought those in a while. So I'm up here sweating from all this heat. A lot of and Tiffany says, great to Mario, congrats. I have been shopping for boutiques. I bought a nice pattern for a New York beauty. I can do it. I can do it. Yes. I need to finish mine. I keep working on a block or two here or there, and then I put it back up. But I wanted one of the larger ones. So Remo says, cutting strips for the rail fence quilt for sister-in-law. That's pretty cool. Getting it done. Cheryl says, good job to Mario. Yes. Janice says, I'm working on my twisted log cabin blocks. All right, Janice, go, girl. It actually goes pretty fast, except for when you're like trying to rush and do it in a day or two at a retreat, you know. Because I was the instructor. So, yeah, kind of, you know, stress that way. If you're doing it at home, it's very simple, easy project. And like I said, you can do them in chain piece blocks do more than one block at a time, which is nice too. So and I'm ready to press this one. It's ready for top and bottom borders. I see the comment section rolling as soon as I step away. Piecing the Ablin block swap. That's Claudette. That's cool. Getting that done. Somebody else asked me either last Saturday or Wednesday about the half square triangles. I had to think about it because I'm like, what is she talking about? Once I get through with something, it's like it's done. It's not on my radar anymore. So I have to read everybody else's comments when I get back over there. And whoops, slipping. Last corner. All right, let's go ahead and pull these over. Put them behind me. Read some comments. Let's see. Tiffany says, I'm slowly working on the Dresden on the long arm now that I got my handles back. Gonna take my time because I don't want to overwhelm myself. Pretty cool. Sean says, I'm almost finished with the patriotic quilt for my mom. That's awesome. Texas on one side, USA on the other. Now that's gonna be cool. Kelly says, you can do it, Mario. I've been looking at some New York beauty patterns and plan to make one later this year. I have 2 other quilts with deadlines that I have procrastinated. Have to do those before New York beauty, yes. Kathleen Champ says, wish I were closer to shirt making has been a big interest for a while. Yeah, I have always wanted to learn how to make my own stuff. And that's how I got into sewing clothes, because I've always been interested in that. Just like stuff that's different. Jackie says, still working on my son's snail trail quilt, king size, and it's going as fast as a snail. It takes time. That's a lot of pieces, a lot of blocks. So Maria says, thank you all for the encouragement. That's nice. Roberta says, I want to do a New York beauty for my sister. I've got too much on my plate right now. You can wait. It's no big deal. Don't stress out about it. You can definitely do it at your leisure, especially if they don't even know you're going to do it for them. June says, going to try and sew tomorrow. I get tired out fast, but I look in my room and it's calling me. Yes, it's so hard when you're not able to do what you want to do. Eric Oda just came in. Hello to you, Eric. And we're going to add now our top and bottom borders. And I want to talk about it for a little bit. That's why I didn't pull my quilt top up here yet. The top of this border is gonna, not the top, this is actually the bottom border. But it's a piece border like that, and it does the same thing. I'm trying to get the other side in, just like that. It does it on both sides. So if you see this side over here, it's the same. When I'm sewing these pieces together, when I'm seaming and everything, I make sure that I backstitch any of my pieces so I don't have to worry about those edges trying to come loose. And then when I sew this onto the quilt, I also make sure that I backstitch everything so that I don't have to worry about it trying to come off the quilt. Because this is going to be my outside edge, is actually the bottom of the quilt because it's a directional print. So this is the bottom last border. So when I pieced all of these pieces in here, I made sure that I backstitch. And because when I was piecing them, I wasn't paying attention to what was the top or bottom, I just backstitched at the top and bottom. It was just easier for me to do that. So I like to just, when you put your final top and bottom border on, because I do my sides first, I always backstitch my final borders so I don't have to worry about those seams coming apart. So now I know that that's the bottom, so I need to find the bottom of my quilt. Kathleen says, okie dokie, y'all. I'm going to make like a banana split. Worked in the sun all day, so I think it's about bed 30. Y'all have a great evening. Good night, Kathleen. Thank you for dropping in. Amelia says, I'm having some shorts for my daughter, and she will come on Father's Day. Haven't seen her for a year and a half due to the virus. I am also making some blocks of elephants patterns. Yes, that's going to be fun to see each other. My mom at one of my retreats started making some blocks. She was hand sewing, and she's never finished them. I don't even know if she know where they are now. I had cut out like some squares, and I can't remember if she did 9 patches with them or something else. So these seams here are not so long. So that'll be fun to see your mom. Tea is now on Tuesdays. Oh, Kathleen saying thank you. See you Wednesday. Yeah, we're now on Tuesdays. Thanks, Mario. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put a couple pins in here. This one's not as long as the other one. May not need these. This one's so short, but I'll put a couple in here just in case. Most of the time when you need something, you realize you need it, it's already too late, right? All right, so again, these are my final borders. Got to remind myself that I need to backstitch. Okay. And the thing for me is sometimes I remember the backstitch at the beginning, and then at the end is where I'll forget. So you all let me know if did this mic have any static pops in it tonight. I was trying to use it one more time before I be forced to order a new mic. Kelly is talking to Eric about a Teaquilts meetup at the Kansas City Quilt Festival. I do plan to go to the Quilt Festival on Friday. Probably just drive down for one day is currently what's in my head. I have not booked a hotel room or anything like that. So let's see, just make up a time here. How about like 1:30 p.m. meeting outside the main entrance? So I don't know what that is because I haven't been in a long time. So let's just say we're going to meet at 1:30 outside the main entrance on Friday. I'll post it in the Teaquilts Facebook group as well. So I'm at the end. I'm talking, but I don't want to forget that I got a backstitch. Critical. For me, anyway. I don't think Kevin or I scheduled for any classes. If you all are in any classes, you all can let me know if 1:30 is not good for you all. Because otherwise, I'll just make it work. I figure it's easy. It's either you're going to either go to lunch or you've already been to lunch. But I don't want to, you know, I try to meet outside the place, like in the lobby area outside by the main entrance. So if people that are not going to the show want to just pop in, they can. So that's kind of how I do Houston, although everybody is normally at the show. Let's see. I do have a call to be on at around 1 p.m. Friday, though. So I don't know what other time, what time is convenient other than that, Eric. And I don't know how long your phone call is going to be. So give me some information so we can let people know. Because it's like down to the wire now. Darcy's saying we need more thumbs up. Night all. Good night, Darcy. Thank you. She's leaving the chat. Doing her final reminder for a thumbs up. So we're almost finished here. I'm going to press this. This is that long seam on the hockey quilt. And then the other seams, I sewed that other one pretty fast. So I like pressing with the wood and iron just because it gives it a memory. So when I go over to the machine, I don't have to set the seam on the front because it's so hot. I don't want to be pressing the seam over there. It's just way too hot. My fingers are like, no, we don't like that. This shirt is pretty thick. It feels like I've got folded fabric underneath. I had to feel it, but I don't. And Eric says, how about 11 a.m.? Okay, we can do 11 if that's fine. That's fine for me. I don't know what time the show opens. So I have to check all of that. Because I'm going to get there. I'm going to make sure I leave home so I get there when it opens so I can walk around a bit. So I'll just be going right back out. That's fine. I hope it opens at 9. Show opens at 10. Okay, thank you, Kelly. So yeah, I'll just be getting there and coming right back out. So, and then that means too that I can leave my house an hour later because I got to drive almost 5 hours to get there. So, all right. I'm just going to show you on this quilt where I pieced. Remember I told you I got some emblems they want put on. So I just pieced the t-shirt block in. It's blank right now. And I'm actually going to put those emblems on when I get to my long arm. So just wanted to show you that block. I was talking about that last week. No, not last week, on Tuesday. I keep thinking it's Thursday, but it's Tuesday. And this is my top border because the hockey fabric goes outside. So this is my top. So we're almost done. We're going to get these finished on this live. And we got plenty of time to do it. So lay this up here. Keep going across my body to get my pins. I'm used to doing that. I think the show opens at 10. Mario T, make sure your video, your meeting with everyone going, and pictures of some quilts. I normally videotape at the shows. If they don't come up with a no photography ban, I tend to video. Long as I'm not doing anything illegal. And then Eric says that he'll probably head to Missouri Star on Saturday. So. All right, one more pin. We should be ready to go. All right. Slide this over a little bit. Get the next piece ready. Give it some room. So, let's see. These t-shirts are hot too, along with this heat behind me. I put this in my lap. It's like, no, you got to come out of my lap. It's like holding a baby. Babies are always warm. All right, getting close to the end here. All right, back stitches done. 2 more seams and I'm done with these. Like I'm done with you. And Tiffany said that's why she's not piecing anything. It's too hot to sit under tops when piecing. Yes. I must have missed a comment from somewhere. All right, let's press this one. I did not do it over there, so I got to do it over here. Forgot to do my wooden iron. Do it real quick. I try to do this over there so I'm facing the camera, but not so much this time. This quilt is heavy. It's got tiles in it and everything. It's like, woo. Just looking at this quilt making me sweat. Got 3 of those team towels in it. Okay, put this back. It's so heavy, it wants to fall back out of the press. All right. what we got so far. So just got to put the top border on this one. Last borders. And let me show you the bottom border on so you can see the connections that I'm making here with my piece border. Let me just go down here and show you that. So this is my corner now that I've got my borders on. And both of them are going to be set up like that. Okay. Both sides. Oh, I missed some comments. Grab a lawn chair, make some friends, and sit in the walk-in fridge. Eric's talking to Tiffany, I guess, with all that heat she got. Thanks, Tiffany. She's saying the quilt's nice. Eric goes, yay, Cardinals. Yes, I haven't even been paying attention to what they're doing right now. I've been so busy, preoccupied with my own life, I guess. Haven't even paid attention to what's going on in baseball. All right. Wild tea is gonna look amazing. Yes, I can't wait to see them all quilted up. So that'll be interesting. It's not gonna be quilted what I want, but it'll be just quilted. I'll pick a different geometric design for each one. Maybe. If I change my mind, they may all three be the same. Oh, Eric says, T, they ain't doing much. Okay. Because I haven't even been paying attention. I normally follow them. My husband hasn't even mentioned anything, so I should have probably known. Although it's weird that he hasn't come to tell me that they aren't doing a thing. Because he'll do that too. He pulled out our old deck furniture. And I was looking at this stuff and I'm like, oh my God, I've been saying for years I'm going to update the deck stuff. But I haven't. I would like to get my, I have a huge deck that I've been thinking about getting filled, like making into like a sunroom with a screen and making an overhead cover. But I've just never gotten quotes for it. So the furniture has kind of always been on the back burner. I would like to have it enclosed because it's so many bugs out. Like, it's no fun to sit outside. All right. Last seam coming up on this hockey quilt. And he talking about, but then I'm in Dodger land. Hey, whatever. We all know every state got their home team. So this is what I just sewed here. I need to press while I'm sitting down. Although these aren't near as long as the other ones. But I kind of like the pale blue with the red. I think they done a good choice picking that. I wouldn't have picked the plain fabric, but that's the only fabric I had in the color, in that particular color. So they got what I had. I wasn't going to go to the store, and I wasn't going to wait to order it for it to come in. So sometimes I get my mail orders fast, and like other times, sometimes like Hancock ship my stuff out, and then other times it take them a week to ship it out. So I couldn't depend on them. So I'm like, nope, we're just gonna do it. But I think when it gets the quilting stitches in it, it's gonna be really nice. So on that solid blue. Good night, Frances. I see people telling her good night. T, do you have a nice size? T, you do have a nice size deck. Would be good to turn into a sunroom or she shed. Yep. But I think I would do the sunroom because it's so hot on that part of my house. So I would do the sunroom with it. Put in I want the overhead so that I can put in a ceiling fan and stuff like that. Otherwise it would be too hot. Oops. I lost my chaining piece. We gotta use you at some point in the future. It may be a while, but I want you. All right. So let me just show you the corners on the blues quilt since I showed you the cardinals. And this is how the corner looks. All right, so bottom piece. Putting the wrong piece on. I'm looking like, why are seams that are yellow matching? That should not happen. Woo. That's why I say you got to pay attention when you make these type of borders, especially while you're doing other stuff and you're not really concentrating. But they have a lot of professional athletes. I don't know what they're talking about. Hawaii don't have any professional sports teams. Yeah, okay. You're right. But they do have a lot of them playing on the other teams. Very nice, T. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Kelly. Teresa says, I'm still packing and now started moving. I hate moving. I want to move so bad, but I don't want to do the work to move. When I bought this house, I was like, I'll just stay here forever, you know. Now I want to move. That was when everything fit into my one little sewing room, you know. And that's the other reason why I'm like, if you move somewhere else, you're just gonna fill that up too. So I don't know. That's why I'm trying to go through stuff now and getting rid of some of it. Goodness gracious. It's a mess over here. I keep moving because rent keeps moving up. Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like about renting is that they, to me, should lower your rent the longer you stay at a place for being a good customer. But instead, your rent goes higher. I never did like that. And that's when we finally got fed up and said, okay, we're just buying a house. Rent keeps going up. We're your loyal customers. And then you have a special and you give these people half of what I'm paying for a year. It's like, that's not fair. I paid you every month on time. All right, let's take this one off. And I'm trying to see if I'm finished or not. I don't know if I got one more seam to sew. I've lost track. Yeah, I think we're done. I just need to press. Yes, got them done. Next step is figuring out what kind of binding I'm going to put on here. I haven't done that yet. I might just use the extra length of fabrics that I got left from cutting these. I might just use those. The cardinal fabric, the hockey fabric, and then the music quilt. I'll just make solid black maybe. Use up the last of those scrap pieces. I don't understand when rent is so high, but mortgage is so low. I understand charging maybe $200 more than a mortgage for rent towards repairs and property tax, but $1,300 more than a mortgage for real. Than a mortgage for real. Yep. Joys of being a property owner, but you know, sometimes you do get them problematic tenants. Oh gosh. Tear your place up. People here are paying $2K or more a month in rent for 2 and 3 bedroom homes, and the owner only pay $400 in mortgage. It's ridiculous. Yep. I'm glad I own. Yep. This one's done. Off the to-do list. Push you up. Talking to the chair now. I've lost my marbles. Last section here to press on this one. And I can just fold this one up. It's ready. I already got my backings cut. I washed them, so I may need to press them a little bit so I don't have wait so long in my long arm. I normally handle all of that at the long arm, but it's new fabric. So this I washed just to make sure. Let me get a square. Because I might come back in tonight, and so after the live, who knows? Just in case. I'll go ahead and put this on and cut this machine off. I just oiled it. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this off. And press this final seam over. And then I can cut this heat off behind me. It's 10:30. I'm gonna make it, yes. I've done something in a live, I finished it. Rent is outrageous in this tourist town. News has been talking about making more affordable housing because the workers can't afford to live here. The Northerners move here when they retire. For less. Wow. Your quilts are going to be awesome. Thank you. I'll take pictures of these two tomorrow to send to them just to let them know that, you know, they're getting done. I don't have to worry about them having money and all of that. I know these people, they both got two good jobs, so I'm sure they got their money ready. They wouldn't have even given them to me if they weren't ready to pay. Matter of fact, she had sent me an email this week asking me if I needed money to buy supplies. It's like, nope. I've already got everything. And even if they, like I said, if I get money early from customers, I never put it in my account. I just hold on to it because you never know when you got to give people money back. So I like to have it readily available just in case. So, and like I said, I know that they're going to pay. This is a repeat customer that I did a queen size quilt, 96 inches square for them. It was the hockey quilt. I don't know if I videotaped it, but I know I showed it probably in a video. I didn't videotape working on it, but I probably just showed the finished project some years ago. And I used to work with this lady, so. Whew, that's it. Let me just press, and we're done. And it was hard for me to make a quilt that wasn't scrappy too, but I put in as many different theme related fabrics as I could in the colors that they wanted. So. But, you know, I need to start giving people what they pay for. And I'm going to cut this off because it's hot. But okay. Put that one up. And I'll refold all of that tomorrow. So now I can just chat. Let's see. Kim Burris came in saying, hi, Quilt family. I'm late. Hello, Kim. Welcome. I can just chat now. I'm done sewing. people are saying hi to her. Vivian says, hi, everyone. I am on the travel to Virginia. T, do you usually ask for a large deposit or half up front? Just curious. I normally get half up front if I know what the end project is going to be. So I tend to ask for half up front so I can get supplies. And when I give them my estimate, I do tell them exactly what I'm going to put in a quilt or how much it's going to cost. And I do all retail at cost pricing. I don't add the retail tax in because I don't want to collect the tax. Because most times I've already bought all the fabric and got it on sale already. So I don't add tax in on it, on the products. Sandra says, oh my goodness, you have experienced people not paying. I've experienced people complaining during the process, especially when they haven't even paid half down. So I don't even have to listen to you. And that's why I don't, even when people pay half down, I just put their money into an envelope and I put it in a special spot. And then I don't even do anything with it until I get the quilt finished. And then that's two things. One, if I've already spent half the money, I have no incentive to do the work because I feel like, okay, I'm only getting such and such. So once I finish the job, then I feel like I've gotten all my money at one time, which then is, a good chunk of change. But also if I have to give somebody their money back, that, sometimes people will approach you with a job and they seem like, they don't sew, don't want to sew, don't know anything about sewing. And then all of a sudden they become the experts and want to tell you how to do everything, or they don't like something. So that's why I tend to send people pictures of the in progress. Like I sent her pictures when I had trimmed them all up. And then I also send pictures when I pick the fabrics. And then I'm also sending her pictures of the completed quilt tops. Now those will be the last pictures that I send her. But I try to let people see the work in progress so they can know whether or not they like it, if they want to pay or not. And so I didn't feel like I was going to have that issue with her, but I do that with every customer. So if they're changing their mind or think they want to tell me what to do or something like that, I can just package your little stuff up and you can pay me for what I've already done and you can find somebody else. So I always just keep their money on hand. So if somebody comes to me, I'm not having to write them a check if they paid me in cash. But you can have people that you may not even want to keep as a customer. I guess that's my point. Damali says, the quilt is very beautiful, T. Thank you. She says, you're very clear, no static. Thank you, Teresa. That's nice that you send pics along the way. Yes, I try to keep, sometimes when people are doing projects and then they have to release total control to somebody else, I like to keep them in the loop of what's going on, and I just don't want people to ever feel like they're never in a loop. And I do that with my machine quilting designs for quilters, because when you have to take your quilt to a long arm, a lot of them will say, just do whatever. And it's like, no, I'm going to send you a few designs that I think will look good on your quilt, and then you can pick, so that they're still in the loop. A lot of them really appreciate it in the end. Some of them don't care. Betsy don't care what I put on her quilt, but I still send her photos anyway, just so I feel like they're in on the planning process. Now, if they haven't responded in like 4 hours and I'm ready to start quilting, then I'll just send them another email saying I've selected such and such design and I've already started quilting your quilt, so that they know that now I'm already quilting. So you don't really, your choice, you no longer have the choice. So I try to do that. Kevin says, nighty night, Miss T and all T quilters. Good night, Kevin. Hopefully I'll talk to you tomorrow. Eric says, I get frustrated when people who don't know anything are telling me how to do my job. And that's exactly what I'm saying. It's not even the people that I'm quilting for that are my issues. It's the people that don't know anything about sewing all of a sudden get, very smart about sewing. It's like, no, you're not a person to tell me what to do. So people are saying good night to Kevin. Mario says, T, you are a very smart businesswoman. I try to you know, when you're, like I said, I'm normally pretty nice person, pretty easygoing. I like sewing and quilting, so it's really not even about the money. I have never made the amount of money that I charge people for a quilt. I have never made what I should have been paid to make a quilt, because I know a lot of people can't afford it, number one, and number two, I like the thought, like this couple, this husband and wife, they're doing these for their parents and stuff. And so these are special things that mean something to somebody. It's not just somebody saying, oh, if you got an extra quilt, let me know. You know, it's not that type of thing. This is something that they want, that they're interested in, they're invested in. And I try to work with those people. So I'm never getting paid, number one, what I should be paid for any project that I've ever done. And you know, and I have done things like that, and then it comes back to bite you in the butt. So I've learned to at least give people the minimum that I'm want to take. If it starts to be a pain in the butt job, let's just say that. If it becomes a nuisance. So I try to, I've been quilting since 1994, and probably like doing stuff for other people. Even making quilts for my family, it's like I was doing quilts for them for free. And some of them, like, I didn't ask them to pick out anything. It's because I'm just making you a quilt. I see something and go, okay, I want to try that pattern. I'll make the quilt. And then as I'm making it, I go, oh, I'll get this to such and such. And then I see the dog on it or something. I'm like, oh, okay. So then as adults, you know, well, they were already adults when I gave most of them their quilts. But then you wait 10 years later and then they're saying, can you make me a quilt? It's like, no, I sure can't. Not for the dogs. So Tiffany is back in. That's what I saw rolling up the screen. But yeah, it just depends on who I'm making the project for. And sometimes that also determines my price too. So Love says, T, did you answer the question about the pincushion? Can I buy the pattern? I don't have, it's not a written pattern. It's a video on my YouTube channel. Just search for Teaquilts Cube Pincushion, and it's everything you need is in that video. Matter of fact, our quilt guild made them, and we made it from a video, but I added all these different pockets and enhancements, because all they had was one or two pockets that were just one big pocket, and so I did some changes to that. So that's why it's different. So it's not a pattern that you can purchase. You just need a little time to watch a video. It's not on Facebook. It's a YouTube video on YouTube. It's not I think Mario's link is going to take you to Facebook, but he might be taking you to the post where the video is. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to click on the link. So just so you know. But it is a YouTube video. Free of charge. So it's we still got 15 minutes. Now I feel like I don't have anything to do. Although I could be sewing some of them squares over there, but now I'm ignoring them, right? That's how life is. It's like, okay, I took a break. I think after I've been wrestling with those big pieces and then had this heat press, this steam press behind me, I'm so happy to have it cut off. I don't know what to do. I feel so much better. So, anybody else got any questions or want to share what you're working on, or? Trying to see if any more comments are coming in. Sometimes I can talk for a long time, and then other times it's like, I was to the point where I was just wanting to go to sleep before I went live, because the last 2 nights I have not like slept very well. The last night I didn't even sleep at all. Thursday night, And then last night, I didn't go to bed till like maybe 3 or 4. So I've just been binge watching Netflix all night because I'm like, I am not going to get up in the middle of the night to sew if I've already gone to bed like after 12. It's like I'm not going to get up at 2 or 3 to go sew. So I just been binge watching Netflix. And then I get all interested in the program. So um how about them half square triangles you love to sew? They over here, they need to be, some of them need to be squared up. These are squared up over here. And I got a bag of them that need to be, that have been pressed. These over here have been squared up, need to be pressed. And I'm sure I got another bag, yeah, it's up under here, that needs to be squared up, okay? They're all, for some reason, I must have done a lot where I was using blue flip corners on, and I kept all of them. So I got a bag of them and I got hundreds of them. So I got to figure out a design for these half square triangles, something that I want to do with them too once I get them squared up. But I got about maybe at least 100 already squared up, probably another 100 laying here because I was kind of doing them in batches. And I got this whole bag, which is probably another 300 or something. I don't know. It's a lot because this bag wasn't even stuffed and I've gotten 200 out of them already. So I don't want to, Eric. I don't want to. He says, Netflix, what have you been watching? I've been watching Dirty John. That's the last one that it's like the first series, which it wouldn't even let me see a first series because when I first started watching a Netflix show, I try to go back to season 1. So it popped up as a recommendation. And so I watched all of season 2 of Dirty John and I kept trying to figure out how did they name this thing because nobody in the whole episode name was John. And so that series ended and apparently then it pops up and takes me back to 1 once I finish the last show of season 2. And then John was actually the name of the guy in the first series. So now I know where the name come from. But I'm on the last episode of the first season in 2 days. One night I watched the other one and then last night I just said, well, really this morning, I just said, you know what? I'm not going to watch the last episode right now. We're going to cut this off. I don't know why, but I didn't. So I'm going to probably watch it tonight. But I also, when I first got Netflix, because this is new for me, I watched Orange is the New Black. And I watched every episode. It was pretty interesting. And then I was watching another series, because I don't watch it all the time, about 3 housewives that started doing, they robbed a store initially, and I can't remember the name of it. I haven't watched all the seasons because I kind of got tired of them. I'm like, how are 3 housewives that don't have any criminal mind get away with all this stuff that they're doing? And they start working with a drug dealer, and then he was a money launderer, and it was just different stuff going on and on. So, but I can't remember the name of it. Hold on. I'm trying to see. I love it because I love medical and love drama all in one show. Okay. And she says, I have been binge watching Grey's Anatomy. And that's the one that I want to watch because when it was on television, I wasn't really watching it because I wasn't home on the nights that Grey's Anatomy came on. And I do want to go back and watch that, but I don't know if I can start from season 1 and go. They got about 18 seasons or something of Grey's Anatomy, but I do want to go back and watch that. So I do like Grey's Anatomy. Damali said, what's the difference between a fence rail and a basket weave? A fence rail block is just 3 strips put together. If you're having anything that's going to weave, most times you're going to have some under and over going on, which means your fabrics are going to have to connect in order for it to do that under and over. I don't think a fence rail is as 3D as if you were doing a basket weave. And my opinion. A basket weave look like it is, the piecing looks like it's actually weaving over and under, more so than what a rail fence looks like. And I just can't explain it very well without actually showing it, and I don't have anything in here to actually show that, or I don't have any strips in this room. June says, I'm still working on the Bordello quilt. Maybe I can get further along on it. That's pretty cool. Sheila says, I'm working on my daughter's blanket, queen size, going to Cali next month and want to take it with me. That's pretty cool. That'll be a good visit too. You get off and get some rest from your job. Sheila is a workaholic. And Eric says he never got into Grey's Anatomy. We have Netflix. Brian loves it. I have never watched anything. I am not a TV person. The thing I like about Netflix is that you get to watch the entire season, whereas you don't have to wait, especially if it's an older program. You don't have to wait every week for it to come on. That's what I love about Netflix. I get to watch the entire season. Hello, I've never seen anyone use a wooden seam press. Is it good purchase? Where did you get yours? And Tiffany is saying Leslie T sells them. Yes. So they are on my website, Teaquilts.com, and they're under the products tab. But they come as a set with a seam ripper and a stiletto on the other end. Although, when I was at retreat, I gave my friend my seam ripper because hers broke. And you never have to worry about losing your caps. So they come as a set. Like that. And the set's $45. And it's hand-carved wood from a guy that makes them in Missouri. But that's what that is. That's the seam ripper part. And here is the press. And I use this a lot. Like when I'm piecing my blocks. Before I even cut my fabric, I guess I should start there. I always starch. And then I use some kind of a press as I'm piecing my blocks units together so that I don't have to all the time go back and forth with pressing with a heated iron. It also reduces stretch. And then when I need something really flat, like if I got a point that really needs to match up, I'll press it with my wood iron and then hit it with the heated iron and then put those pieces together. But basically, I can almost sew my block together because I've starched with just this. So I don't have to use a heated iron the entire time I'm working, especially when you have a small workspace. Thank you, Tiffany, putting the link. Eric saying, does anyone watch Lucifer? I have not. Tiffany says she loves it. Damali says, does that mean for use odd number strips and black and white, use even number of strips? No, it's just how like when you make one block with a basket weave, the next block is going to be weaving those colors in. It's not just 3 strips. It's going to be, say like it could be, every strip may not even be the same length. And that's what's different about a basket weave. That's why it's difficult for me to explain it to you without having some kind of picture here to show you. It's a little bit more complicated than that. It's not just going to be 3 strips and then you rotate and put 3 strips and then rotate and put 3 strips. Your other pieces are going to be kind of woven, interchanging, coming from the other block that you just put down, doing some stuff to make it look like it's actually weaving like a basket. So, I just got a set of Taylor's clappers and love them. I used that more so when I was into piecing, like making clothes. I use those, especially in curve areas and stuff like that. But you do have to wait for, you're not supposed to move your clapper until your piece is done heated. So you got to wait for it to cool down. That's why I still have a lot of that stuff, but I don't actually use it in my quilt making. I find when I'm using my strip stick and my wooden iron, when I press with them, they tend to have a memory. And I got quilt tops in my lecture that I have not quilted. I purposely haven't quilted those to show them that as the years keep going on, how many years I've had this thing pressed with my strip stick and the seams are still pressed open. So it just depends. Everybody has what they like as a, um, as far as sewing, and you have to find the one that kind of works best for you. So I'm one of those people that I'm pressing and I'm ready to go. I ain't got time to wait for it to cool. So, but I use that a lot when I was making clothing. If you're making clothing, tailor tacks and hams, those you must have those if you want to make professional looking clothes. You don't want your clothes to look like they were, homemade. So, and Damali says, "Thank you, T. Since I like them both, I'll still be happy with it." Yeah, uh, yeah. It's just more. You can't really do a basket weave with 3 or 4 straight strips. That's not a basket weave. It's got some other piecing going on in the block. I just find on bulky seams, it forces it to stay down. Yeah, and see, if I know my seam is going to be bulky, then that's when I just press my seams open. And so it does work. You are correct. It will keep stuff down. But I do a lot of pressing my seams open. And a lot of people, they say, "You took the time to press all that open." Yes, I did. Because when I get to the quilting stage, I don't have to worry about my seams flipping and all this other stuff that's going on. I don't have to worry about any thick intersections. So, Connie, you just said search. You just said search. Did you starch all fabric that you sent out? Should I be starching my border pieces so it will shrink like the same? I starched the K-facet, all those colorful squares. Those were starched because K-facet fabrics are very thin. And I wanted to make sure that they cut as close to 4.5 inches as possible. So that's why I starched every last one of those. I had 103 fat quarters that I starched. So I did starch those. Your grunge fabrics were much thicker. I did not starch those. I didn't need to starch those. But for some reason, K-facet fabrics have gotten thinner and thinner over the years. So that's the one thing I don't like about them. Deborah Holloway came in, says, "Hi, T and T Quilters. Just woke up." Now that is funny. It's 11 o'clock. Should I starch my pieces for borders? No, you don't have to. You don't have to starch your pieces for border. But if you want to make it so that it's a little bit stiffer than what you have, especially if you're using a K facet, then I would starch my border fabrics. I would. I press my fabrics before I put them on the quilt, so I would starch them. I just didn't need to starch when we did the half square triangles. I didn't have to starch that. And you can see it's still standing up and I'm holding it in the middle. The fabric was just much thicker than the K-facet stuff. And Mario says the fabrics are thinner and thinner and more expensive. You got that right. I saw on one site now, like regular quilting cottons, from what I've been seeing, they're $12.99, and I saw like $13.99 for K facet fabric. So, and it might be higher than that. That was just on one website. Eric says he went on a diet. I guess so. Mm-mm. And you would think that if you had because I put a couple of my older K prints in there, and when you're doing your fabrics, you're gonna know it when you feel it. And his fabric used to be really, really thick, and I don't know what the heck happened, but it changed early on in his career where he started using the thin stuff. Because I wasn't a fan of his at first, so I only got like, I say, if I in my entire stash, I don't know if I used them all, But in my entire stash, I probably only had about 7 to 8 of his really thick fabrics. And then all the rest of them were thin. They were like fat quarter bundles that I had gotten from Hancock's years ago, or when I was out seeing stuff or at a quilt show, I would buy some fat quarter bundles and things like that. So his stuff has just gotten thin. So it's almost, it's 11. Let's see. Judy Plaster says, thank you, Teaquilts. I got my prize I won on Thursday this week. You're so welcome. Congratulations on the win. And Connie saying good night to all. Someone wants to go to bed. Good night and hugs, everyone. Good night, Mario. Thank you for hanging in with us tonight. We're going to be leaving out of here. It's 11 p.m. They saying them goodbyes and good nights. So thank you all so much for coming tonight. I appreciate you all being here with me while I finish up these quilts. Doing these live sewing chats gets me in here to get these projects that I need to get done completed. Because otherwise, I got so many other things I can do in my day that I start going elsewhere doing stuff. I get distracted very easily. So you all keep me focused. So thank you all for that. And thank you all for being here with me. I appreciate it. And see you all. Okay, thank you, Norma. I appreciate that. I'll look at your order and get back with you. But good night, everybody. You all stay safe, be blessed, and quilt out. See you all Tuesday night.